For as long as I can remember, I've always really liked the idea of PvP in MMORPGs. However, I've never been all that good at it, and I've also never really been hooked and really brought into it in a way that I've just wanted to play it over and over and over again. However, since experiencing it in the Elder Scrolls Online, whether that's in the Battlegrounds or whether it's in Cyrodiil PvP, which we'll get into what these are a little bit later on, I have been hooked on this game, and it's just an addicting thing to do in this game, and it's also rewarding. So, this video is going to be going over why I think that the PvP in this game is absolutely probably one of the best that I've played. At least in my opinion, it is the only one that's really pulled me in and hooked me and made me want to just keep doing PvP over and over again. So what I want to do in this video is basically talk about why I think that is, and also give you guys an idea of exactly what the PvP is like in this game. So if you have anything from experience in this game, or whether you're just interested in it whatsoever, get in the comments section and share all of your experiences or thoughts of it. Or like I said, if you are quite interested in it anyway, then ask any questions and I will answer as best as I can. If you find this video informative, entertaining, or you just happen to enjoy it, then obviously don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, let's jump into it. So I think a good place to start this video will be to go over the options that you have to actually engage in PvP in this game, and talk about the different types of game modes. We will get into them more specifically eventually, but for now let's quickly cover what you do have options for. The PvP really is split up into two different sections. The first one that I want to talk about is going to be the Battlegrounds. Now this is something really quite interesting to me for an MMORPG sort of PvP, and it brings in kind of like a esports or MOBA feeling aspect to this game. And what I mean by that is basically you could get together in a group of friends and enter these, and you're going to be able to do things like capture the flag or team deathmatch, and you're going to be able to go around and prove yourselves as the better group. However, you can play these solo, where you will be automatically put into groups of 4, and then you'll be up against 2 other teams with a group of 4 as well. And basically you're going to want to be going into this and proving that you are the better PvPer, but there's going to be objectives like capturing the flag and all that sort of stuff as well. We'll get into more about the game modes in just a little bit. The second option that you do have for PvP in this game is going to be Cyrodiil. Now this is the alliance versus alliance game mode, where you're basically going to be at a big war between the 3 different alliances of the game, which is the Aldemiri Dominion, the Daggerfall Covenant, and the Ebonheart Pact. Now all of these are at war, and they're all going to be fighting basically for the Elder Scrolls, capturing the Imperial City and crowning one of your players as an emperor. Now other points along the map as well, such as things like keeps and towns and sort of outposts, things like that. These are things that you're going to be fighting over initially before you reach into the middle Imperial City, but when you capture each of these, it does give you a buff for your alliance as well, so it gives a really good incentive for you guys to go in there and fight that out. There's a lot more to this, and we will cover it in the video a little bit later on, but first of all, let's head back to the Battlegrounds and talk about those a little bit. So I mentioned that the Battlegrounds in this game kind of give me like a MOBA or esports sort of feeling to it, and the reason being is they are short matches where you'll go in and you'll do like a team deathmatch, for example, and you'll be in a group of 4 versus 2 other teams of 4 as well, and you're basically just trying to prove that you have a better skill than the other people that you're up against. It's very skill based, as there is scaling involved in this, and also you're going to be able to teamwork with people if you're in a pre-made group, or you can even communicate with people in the group chat anyway, but tactics are going to be very important in a lot of these game modes too. So a lot of work can go into becoming the better team, and I feel like it could be something that's really enjoyable if you got together with a group of 3 friends and just went into this to try and see exactly how many games in a row that you could win. So basically, what game modes do you have access to in this? You have 5 different game modes available to you. One of them, which I've mentioned already, is Team Deathmatch, where it's basically the most kills on your team will win, and that is more or less just run around, kill each other, and the person with the highest score at the end of the timer, or the first to reach a set score, is crowned the winner. Secondly, you have got access to something called Chaos Ball. Now this is where in the middle of the map a ball will spawn, and you're all going to charge in there basically in the beginning and pick that ball up, and the longer you hold onto that for, then the more points you're going to get. As you can run around and hide and pass the ball between each other, The longer your team has hold of that ball, your score will gradually go up and up and up, and eventually either the person with the most score at the end of the timer or the person that reaches the score limit will be the winner. If you don't initially get that ball, then you can take it from the enemy by killing them off and taking it for yourself. You're going to want to basically run around, hide around the map, use the sort of corners and stuff, and just try and get away from people as much as you can. Tanks are really good in this game mode, as you can hold onto the ball for a lot longer. The third option that you have access to is called Capture the Relic. Now this is pretty much as you can probably imagine it to be. You will go to the enemy's sort of base, take the relic from there and try and return it to your own base. And the other people will be trying to do this to you at the exact same time, so it's up to you whether you have one person defending, 3 person attacking, or you will just have to come up with a strategy of your own. Maybe you have 1 runner, maybe you have 3 people defending, and the person to capture the most relics and bring it back to their sort of base and get score that way. At the end of the timer, whoever has the most score wins, or of course the first person to reach the score limit will be crowned the winner as soon as they do. I'm sure you can see sort of a trend here. Now that leaves us with 2 more options, one being Domination and one being Crazy King. Domination is something everybody's probably heard of, and it's basically going to be going to a point, capturing the flag and holding on to that point as long as you can. There will be several points spread out across the map, and the more you hold of these, then the faster your points will increase. Eventually, whoever has the most points as the timer runs out, or the first person to reach the score cap, will be crowned the winner. However, this game mode is probably one of my favourites during the Battlegrounds because there is a lot in it based on defending your flags and make sure you're rotating to the right place, going as a group and not going one-on-one. You don't want to be that lone survivor running in by yourself, because then as soon as you get to that flag, someone realises and wow, well 3 or 4 of the enemy team all jump on you and it's over. You've got a respawn timer, so mistakes would be made. The final game mode is Crazy Kings. Now, this is kind of a chaotic game mode, and it's very similar to Domination, but there's only 2 flags and they do move after a certain amount of time. Basically, what you're going to do is get into the game, 2 spawn locations on the map will create a flag, and everybody's going to run to try and capture those flags. There is 12 people in this game, split up into 3 teams, and all these teams are going to want to hold these points. Obviously, the longer you hold the points, the faster your score will increase, just like in Domination. However, because there's only 2 flags, everybody is fighting for these flags constantly. Everyone's piling in, there's stuns going out everywhere, fire flames all over the place, and it's just a really funny time, to be honest. You can shoot people off the bridges if you've got that ability, and there's just a lot of fun to be had in this game mode. At the end of it, the person who has the highest score will be crowned the winner, or of course, as with all the other ones, if you reach the score cap first, then congratulations, you have won once again. Now, while you can queue up into these as solo, there is quite a lot of times that I have gone into a solo game and some of my people have been AFK or they've left, or of course there's going to be new players as well, especially if you're queuing in the below 50 category. However, you can solve this by queuing up with friends, and that will make it a lot more fun anyway. It's time to move on to my favourite PvP mode of this game, Cyrodiil and the Alliance Wars. This is something that I have become addicted to, and I just want to build the absolute best character to be able to take part in this, and I could probably spend hours on end just doing this PvP. Where do I begin? There is so much to learn from this. I would highly recommend when you first get in here to do the tutorial. Basically, to get in here you're going to press L on your keyboard and this will bring up your Alliance War. Once you are in here, you will be able to see campaigns on the left hand side. If you are below level 50, then chances are you'll probably be better off in the below level 50 campaign. Now, while you can join the other ones as well, say if you have friends in there that you want to play with, then you can definitely go in there and do that. Just be aware that you will probably be out damaged and probably picked off quite a lot. However, you can always go in and just do sort of things like the siege catapults, all that sort of stuff, which we'll get to very shortly. However, I would highly recommend if you are below level 50, jump into that under level 50 campaign. You can change this later on, so don't worry about that. However, if you are not below level 50, then of course you can join all the other campaigns as well. But I assume if you're watching this video and you're above level 50, then you're already fully aware of this. Once you join, you will be able to go ahead and do the tutorial quest, which I highly recommend doing as mentioned before. However, if you press M to open up your map, you will probably be greeted with something that looks pretty damn confusing. Now, I'll just quickly go over this so you have an idea of what you're looking at here. Basically, all the different sort of icons on here that are in different colours represents which alliance holds that area. Now, you can take over these from other people and you can head in there and basically convert them into your own colour to make them into your alliance. The yellows are all of the Aldemirian Dominion, the Daggerfall Covenant is the blues, and the Ebonheart Pact is the reds. So depending on which alliance you are on, you will be basically trying to look at which locations you could capture next as a group of people to benefit your alliance and also just control more of the map. Now, the reason that I recommend you do the tutorial and learn all the basics about this is because this is how the PvP kind of plays out in Cyrodiil. You will find a group of people to go with, and you will have someone, probably the group leader, who is deciding on which location you're going to go to. You could decide as a group, but usually you'll have the person who's most experienced, and that will be a lot easier to understand and sort of make a final decision of where you're going. Once you have your location that you want to go and capture next, then you will be able to go to the fast travel network and travel out to the nearest outpost to where you want to be, and then you will probably mount up and ride out as a group to head and siege that area. Now, when I mention sieging an area, I don't mean you just run in, capture a flag, done. You're going to have to buy things like siege weapons such as catapults, ballistas, or trebuchets on the way. Even a battering ram can come in incredible use. Now, the reason you need these is because the castles and the forts have walls around them and gates that you have to break through. If it's not your alliance, then there's no way you're getting through there without some force. Around each fort is going to be a lumber mill, a mining camp, and a farm. Now, if you have access to all three of these, then you can fast travel to that fort. So, what you're going to want to do before you take over this is decide as a group whether it's more effective to give them a surprise attack and arrive right at the keep's door, or whether it's better to go ahead and take these around the outside. The reason you would want to take the mining camp is because it will make the walls have quite a lot less health, so you can break them through them quite a lot quicker. The same goes for the lumber mill and the doors. If you take the lumber mill over before you try and knock down the doors, then it'll be a lot easier to break through those doors once you have control of the lumber mill. And taking over the farm will control how effective the NPCs are at defending the base when there's no players there anyway. So once you've decided whether you're going to take over the camp or whether you're going to go straight in and knock on the door, you're going to want to be setting up your siege weaponry. You're going to have a battering ram to take down doors, or you're going to have catapults and trebuchets to knock down the walls. Anything like this will help, and it will make taking over this keep a hell of a lot easier. You will have to have 3 people next to a battering ram for it to even work, and people will have to manually use the things like the trebuchets and the catapults, and eventually you can knock down the walls or break through the gate. However, the enemy can defend their castle walls, of course. They can get up above the gate and pour hot buckets of oil directly over your head while you're trying to ram down the doors, or they could come out there and burn the crap out of your catapults and ballistas, come out in force, and it's just one big massive war, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. So there is a lot to learn, and like I said, do the tutorial because this will teach you a lot of stuff. You will gain things like alliance points which you can spend on getting your trebuchets or getting things to repair walls, because once you have broken down the doors, gone inside, captured the flag and made this into your own alliance, it's not finished yet. You need to then get the supplies to fix the walls and all the damage that you've done, because if you just leave now, you've got a big massive hole either in a wall or in a doorway, and the enemy are going to come running right back in there as soon as it's clear and capture the flag back. So what you're going to want to do is go and buy stone, go and buy wood. Stone will fix the walls, wood will fix the doors. Build that back up, and then you can get back in your group and head off to the next designation. Once a place is under attack, the enemy can't teleport back in, so if you kill somebody, they can't just respawn back inside that keep and come back out. They will have to respawn to the nearest point that they're able to, and then get back on their horse and ride back out to try and defend. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, yet there's even more to come, because next I want to talk about character creation, but basically a quick recap on this just in case you guys are kind of all spinning in your head from what I've just given you all that information. It's an alliance war where you can go out in groups of people. You do need to do sieges to break down the walls or main gates. Then you'll want to go inside. You'll be PvPing with people who are defending their fort, and you'll want to capture the flag by killing off all of the enemies and then taking over the area for yourself, then rebuilding back up. However, you do need to buy things like siege weaponry to bring with you along the way, and you don't want to be leaving your fort without fixing up all your defenses before you go. Okay, so that is basically everything that I wanted to cover for Cyrodiil, as I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how the PvP works and why I think it's so fun. However, the last thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is how character creation, classes, all that sort of stuff ties into this and makes it even more amazingly fun. Let's get out straight onto that now. Obviously, anybody who plays this game will already understand about how the character creation in this works. However, I know a lot of my viewers don't play ESO, so if you are interested in this, then this section will be quite useful for you to listen to as well. And it does make PvP very, very unique in this game, in my opinion, and this is something that I really had to include in this video. So, basically, the character creation in this game is not limited like every other MMORPG where you've got a class and you've got one weapon style for that class and that's what you're sticking to. Obviously, you guys from RuneScape are going to be used to be able to swap weapons and stuff, however it's slightly different in this game. You will be able to pick a class at the beginning of the game which gives you a base set of skills. However, you are not limited to being a sorcerer if you pick the sorcerer class. You're going to be able to do things like pick a mage but be in heavy armor with a sword, so you'll have access to these sorcerer abilities. However, you can go out there and smack people in the face with your sword or be a tank. It's absolutely no problem as long as you build your person in that way. If you equip a different weapon, you unlock that skill line and you can then level it up and unlock all the abilities from that skill line, so you can more or less build anything that you want to build in this game as a character. If you want to be a healer that has the skill set of an assassin where you could go invisible so you're harder to target and get killed, because everybody knows that healers are the first target in PvP so that they can't keep all of their tanks and everyone alive, then you go ahead and build a healer that's impossible to catch because you're super quick, or you can go invisible and just disappear from sight. It's absolutely amazing. If you want to be an archer that also throws out spells here and there, or people that just has a lot of CC but not so much damage, these are all things that you can do and you can all contribute to your group that you'll go with in an amazing way. Personally, I am now re-rolling as a healer so that I can keep all of my allies alive, because I feel like healers have a huge impact in Cyrodiil. So we'll see some more of that in the future. I have an idea for a video of that. Let's not ruin that just yet. So now that you know about how the character creation and the classes work in this game, you can just sort of imagine all of the opportunities that you have to contribute to your group in a different way. Everything's going to be different because you never know what you're going to be going up against as well. You're not just going to be going in and fighting an archer knowing that the rogue is going to be the one to kill the archer or the mage is going to be the one to kill the tank, because that's not specifically how it works in this game. That tank could be perfectly fine against magic and that archer could be perfectly fine against physical damage. It's all stuff that you will have to take into account, sort of learn and have a feel for, but everything's different and it's incredibly fun to get in there, think of ideas for your class and see how you do. Okay, so this video is getting incredibly long. However, I'm sure you now have kind of an understanding for why I feel like this game is incredibly good for PvP and all the things that it has to offer for you. If you're the sort of person who would rather come in, do a quick battleground, then that's perfectly available for you as well. If you're the person who likes to see progress in what they've been doing, you can work with a group, you can work with your alliance and go for that big objective. Hell, if you're the person who likes to be the center of attention, the person who likes to put every last minute into everything that they do, you could go into that sort of campaign and become the emperor. If you get up there on the ranks, you're the person who's always PvPing, you're the person who's always leading groups, you're the person who's got the most kills, all of that amazing stuff. You could be the emperor of your alliance. You will fight through to the Imperial City in the middle, you will be crowned emperor from your allies, and then, holy crap, you're the emperor of an alliance in the Elder Scrolls Online. Guys, all of this sounds absolutely amazing and I have a lot to experience in it as I am just getting into PvP myself, but wanted to share with you all my thoughts on it and basically just sort of see what you guys all think about it as well. Let me know in the comments below, because I'm going to end this video here, what you think about this game's PvP. If you do play, then tell me all the amazing experiences you've had and share any thoughts and stuff, anything you may have questions about this, just get them in the comments and share them with me. Any people who are looking at getting into this or giving it a try, if you have any questions, ask me. If I have the answers, I will give them to you, or if not, we can maybe see if someone else who's watched the video and does have experience can answer it for you as well. Really do appreciate you all watching. I know it's been a long one, there will be timestamps in this, but if you did enjoy it, if you found it interesting, if it was informative, or you just enjoyed the video as a whole, then make sure to leave a like on the video so other people can enjoy it as well. And of course, I am making plenty of Elder Scrolls Online videos, and I don't plan on stopping. I am enjoying this game a lot. Then leave a subscribe, because there'll be more coming in the future. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.